This is MXUX. This is a exclusive interview that was given to Fleet Owner magazine here for Lordstown and the visit of Joe Burrow. And this is an exclusive. I don't think this information is touted as exclusive, but anyway, as Lordstown makes its comeback, Lordstown Motors calls on Joe Burrow. So this is a very interesting article. I will put a link in the description for this. And these are some photos we have seen before. And these were the ones that were released um, for Lordstown on all their media and so forth. And it has some great new information in it. And what I've done is I have gone over, this is an interview with Joe Burrow at Lordstown. I mean, that this is a lot of media they have with Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow is a massive supporter. I think it's going to make a big difference for Lordstown, certainly. Um, anyway, enough of this. Let me go. I have summarized this article, and that's going to be the next portion of this video. Okay, this is MXUX. Now, this is the 623 Fleet Magazine article. Talks a lot about Burrow. Burrow was with LMC since 2020, so he's an OG. He's been through the ups and downs and stuck with the company. Will launch a marketing campaign. This is very interesting from the article. He had a crew of 13 with him at the plant visit, and they were a production crew filming everything. A lot of people had speculated that Lordstown Motors was going to have a Super Bowl related campaign back in the day. Um, they had planned media with Burrow before the Super Bowl, but this is before they ended up in the Super Bowl, Cincinnati. So it was canceled because Burrow ended up in the Super Bowl. So would there have been a Super Bowl commercial? I don't think so, but would there have been a lot of web stuff? Probably. So anyway, that was planned and scrapped because Burrow ended up in the Super Bowl itself. Now, there are some very big details here regarding the Endurance, and I believe this is the final version because this is the latest interview. And this is what I've gleaned from it. So the dash is all touchscreen. Um, the truck is available in four colors: white, gray, silver, and black, especially like the black one. Burrow is the only consumer that's going to get one, and he wants a silver one. Now, the base price, and I am assuming this is fully auctioned because Hightower has said in the past they're only building one version of it with all the options in it. And these include bed lighting and backup cameras and everything you would expect from a, you know, F-150 Lariat or whatever. $60,375. That is a cut. I believe the last announced price was 64 or 65 and change. So that is a drop in price. The gross weight is 7,500 pounds. The payload is 1,000 pounds. The towing capacity is 8,000 pounds. It's 550 horsepower. And 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds governed. Now, this is governed. This is important to note because it is capable, in my opinion, of threes in this figure. Anyway, now, the truck was complete. Now, I suspected this, but did not know it. The truck was completely reworked from the frame up from version 1 when Niavaji became CEO. Certificate, and this was very confusing to some video makers on YouTube. The certification and homologation, I believe, were also redone. So, this is Endurance V2, Endurance V3 we're looking at here, and there have been changes, and I'm just going to go over them here. I do believe the truck now has a 555 safety rating. It had a 554 safety rating with a 4 for the rollover. I believe that is correct. Many options were added under Hightower. I have made 2 videos on the Endurance, what I call the consumer version, which I think it is going to be eventually. And there are backup cameras, and there is puddle lighting, and there is a bed light, and so forth, that were not listed in the original Endurance. So there are many options added. This is a fully optioned truck. The weight has increased on the truck. There's been no, the gross vehicle weight has increased. There's been no explanation for it in the comments. My viewers have mentioned changing from aluminum body panels to steel body panels. Obviously, if they have a 555, they have strengthened the roof. So there have been changes. What they have been, we may never know. We may never know because they may never explain it. Why would they? There's no reason. Now, they're very cagey on the range, up to 200 miles based on testing. So again, 200 miles, 210 miles have been noted. The previous Endurance was 250 miles. As I said, the Endurance, the hub motors have 30% more regen than a normal EV. It may bump this figure up in real life testing or real life use. There is no EPA number yet on the Endurance. So we don't know what the formal range is, and I think they are being ultra conservative on this because of the SEC and DOJ. The payload decreased minimally, in my opinion, personally. There is no explanation for this, although when the gross weight goes up, the payload does decrease. And when you stay within the light vehicle parameters, this is what happens. The frunk size has decreased. I believe the frunk size has like halved. And I say this is minimal. I am not a big believer in frunks and pickup trucks. I think you buy a pickup truck because it's a pickup truck, not because it has a trunk. I just want to add, when they, for example, in the Ford Lightning, they include the capacity of the frunk in the payload, total payload capacity of the truck. Since this frunk size has decreased by 50%, that would also reduce the payload by how much I don't know, but it would be an explanation for part of the reduced payload. In any case, I think the parameters on the truck, according to the survey information I reviewed, pretty much exactly what everybody is looking for, except for range, which we don't have a final number on yet. LMC plans a broader portfolio of fleet vehicles using MIH platform under joint venture. Endurance is the beginning of the story, not the end. And this joint venture, Niavaji has said that he feels that the joint venture is the most important thing at Lordstown Motors, perhaps even more important than the launch of the Endurance. And of course, the potential there is, astronomical, in my opinion, working with Foxconn and the capabilities and the resources they bring. Anyway, production will begin Q3. Okay, that's what they say now. July 18th has been a day that's been bandied around the internet. September would be the previous day. They're going to have delivery of up to, so again, cagey with the numbers, 500 vehicles by Q4. So that is delivery. That means sales. That means revenue. That means a change in the balance sheet. That means a lot to the stock price. Hope to have production of 2,500 trucks by the end of 2023. And again, hope. Okay, are they sandbagging, or are they putting out diminished expectations? I don't know. So by the end of 2023, and that would be a total production of 3,000 units, and that would be built and sold. So, 500 trucks, they're saying, again, and this has been the number all along, by the end of this year, produced and sold commercially, and 3,000 built and sold next year. Ford, the F-150 Lightning, they have committed to 22,000 F-150 Lightning fleet vehicles. I have not found any word on if any of those, or if any of the production has been allocated. So I am of the opinion that Ford is building the most, the vehicles that are most profitable for them. And my research said that they're losing between $8,000 to $10,000 on each Lightning fleet vehicle. It is not profitable. Lordstown also has said that this production run is not going to be profitable until they retool. And when they retool, and I believe this is to go to the more permanent stamping dies and so forth, and perhaps different materials for the body panels, that they think they will. My past estimates said with the BOM, and especially the manufacturing costs being diminished by the hub motors, I had estimated a margin of 30% on these trucks. Very high. I mean, when you look at the reduction in the number of parts, and the reduction, I mean, installing motors is 5 minutes versus, probably an hour on a regular Tesla or whatever. By the time you do all the sub-assemblies and put the carriage of the motor in, it's massive. The potential is massive, in my opinion. So the evaluation on the final take on things. Very positive media. LMC is very positive, so this was not a hatchet piece. This was a fair piece, which is unusual for Lordstown. Revised truck specs and price. Final version likely. Is this? I think this is probably the final version. I mean, we don't have the range figure. But I think this is pretty much close. And if that price is the same, then they have dropped the price about $5,000, which is massive. That's you know almost 10%. I want to note that LMC placed an emphasis on the mixux joint venture. I mean, in this article, and as I said, Niavaji had mentioned this, and so the potential with this joint venture has not yet been realized. I don't think people realize how big this is, and with Lordstown Motors owning 45% of this, and I would guess 45% of the revenues of a worldwide BEV development program. Massive. Endurance will launch this year, and just so they reaffirm that the launch date is, it's next month, September. Absolutely, they reaffirm that, so we can say that for sure. The question is Lordstown Motors sandbagging? Are they giving the most conservative figures because of the SEC and DOJ? Qualifiers were used often in this piece. Hope, up to, testing, shows, so forth. So we're going to have to wait until the truck comes out to get these hard specs. But again, this is very bullish for a ride, in my opinion. very bullish. And the news, this is the first I've heard of this being a completely new version of the Endurance. And Niavaji said he brought his team in, and this is the first thing they did. And, it's entering an iteration of development, which is something that Tesla does as they're producing a vehicle. And we had prototype, alpha, beta, pre-production vehicle. And then Hightower, who, by the way, Hightower is a very heavyweight auto guy, came in, reworked it, and I think it's even a better vehicle, certainly more options. And this is all very positive for ride. So this is mxux. I just wanted to bring this up. I'm going to put a link to this article in the video description. I think a lot of people might have missed this, and that's why I wanted to put a video on it. Okay, good luck in the market. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor, lawyer, or engineer. Do your own DD and verify any information you get from me or anybody else. Investing can and does result in catastrophic losses. Okay, that's the disclaimer. All right, thanks for watching, everybody.